Hi there, it's Martin Twycross here with another video, bringing you practical, down-to-earth teachings on mediumship, without the fluff. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about how long does it take to develop mediumship. And I want to talk about some of the factors that affect this and influence the process and journey of developing mediumship. So if that sounds of interest to you, stay with me. Okay, so how long does it take to develop mediumship? So point number one, there is no instant mediumship. Despite what some people advertise, despite what some people tell you, we cannot instantly develop mediumship. There is no instant mediumship, just add hot water. Nobody can make you an instant medium with just one course or a weekend, a week, or even a series of courses over a couple of weeks. It's not going to happen. So no course can make you a medium. No teacher can make you a medium. To develop mediumship, it takes longer than that. It takes a lot longer. So if anybody advertises that you can do a course and by the end of it you'll be a medium, if anybody advertises that they as a teacher will make you a medium in a very short period of time, I would say steer clear. Give it a wide berth, because there is no instant mediumship. I'm sorry, there isn't. So point number two, there are no shortcuts to development. We have to let the process of mediumship unfold and happen naturally. So people tell you that you can do this practice. People advertise that if you listen to this CD, it will hardwire your brain for doing mediumship. And in my experience, this is just not true. You cannot just listen to a meditation that will make you a medium. Not going to happen. You can't just do something and it makes you a medium. It's a shortcut. It cuts out all the work. It's not going to happen. From my perspective, there are no shortcuts to the process of mediumship unfoldment and development. We have to allow it to happen naturally in its own time. So we can't shortcut it. We can't do anything that will take years off that process. It's just not going to happen. But having said that, there are some things you can do that can speed up the process, that, if you like, can make the process more efficient. But they're not shortcuts, I hasten to add. The first one I would say is the practice of sitting in the power, the meditation practice of sitting in the power. If you're interested in knowing more about it, I do have a meditation sit in the power on my channel, and I do have a playlist on my channel that explains all about how to do it and why you should do it and the common challenges you encounter. I will put a link in the comments and description below. But sitting in the power for me is a process that helps us to create within the right conditions for our mediumship to unfold. So it is, if you like, speeding it up because we're helping to create the conditions needed for the unfoldment of our mediumship. That's why I consider it a process of speeding it up. The second thing that can help speed up the process is a good teacher. Because a good teacher can look at where you are in your development, give you good exercises, give you good feedback that will help steer and direct your development. So a good teacher can speed up development. Now, some circles and classes you go to, they're not geared towards helping people move forward at any rate at all. I know I've been to circles and classes myself in my early days that were nothing more than a talking shop. People just got together for a cup of tea and a chat. We call them a mother's meeting in the UK, somewhat rudely perhaps. But basically the point is people are getting together to chat, not to work. And if there's no work, there won't be spiritual progress. If there's no work, you won't be moving your mediumship forward. That's important to recognise. So point number three, we're all different. Point number three, we all have different qualities, different degrees of abilities. So some people have a very strong natural ability for mediumship, but others don't. Some people, when they start mediumship development, they develop very rapidly. They're at a big spurt and they develop really quickly. Others don't. Some people develop in what I call steps and stages. It just moves up in increments as they develop. Others just develop very slow and steady. But slow and steady generally wins a race, remember. So that's not a bad thing either. So everybody develops differently. We all develop at a different pace. So because of that, we should never compare ourselves to others. People come to circles or classes and they say, well, that person's moving forward really quickly. That's not fair. I've been in development longer. No, don't compare yourself to others, because it only creates jealousy, it only creates disappointment, it brings the ego into play, and we don't want that. When we develop, we need to focus solely upon our own journey. That's the important thing to recognize. So recognize we're all different. Don't compare yourselves to others. You're on your own journey, and your own journey will work at its own pace. So number 4, time frame. Can I give you a time frame for how long it will be to develop mediumship? At this point, you're probably saying, look, you've told us lots of lovely things, but you still haven't told us how long it's going to take. So how long is it going to take to develop mediumship? And I'm going to say, how long is it going to take for what? How long to give a contact? How long before you can give consistent contacts? How long before you can go on platform? How long before you can give a sitting? How long before you can start charging as a professional for your sittings? How long before you can be a teaching medium? These are all stages, steps along a journey of unfolding and developing mediumship. So when we're talking about time frame, it's time frame for what exactly? And many people set a specific stage as a destination. How long before I become a platform medium? Or how long before I can start charging for sittings? And it's hard to answer because they're all stages on that journey. Some people may never reach those later stages. For some people, they may become consistent at doing contacts, but the ability may not be strong enough to sustain them to work professionally, to make them a platform medium, to make them a medium who can charge for sittings. So some people may not get there. We all have a different degree of ability. It depends on your own ability. It depends on your development journey. And say becoming a working medium. Some people may be very gifted and become a working medium within a couple of years. For others, it may take a decade or more before they become a working medium, and others may never reach that stage of becoming a working medium, although they may get to the point of giving consistent contacts. So this is why I never give or teach specific time frames to become a medium, because we can't. Because we're all unique and we're all different, and we're just talking about stages and steps along a path of development. I don't believe we can give a time frame, or at least I don't give time frames. If you find this video helpful, do hit the like button, do leave me a comment, and also consider subscribing to the channel. So point number 5, it takes as long as it takes. Mediumship takes time, takes dedication, takes effort. It's all about creating the right conditions for the potentials within to unfold. And that takes time. It takes as long as it needs. We need also to work on self. We need also to work on our spiritual development and spiritualize ourselves. We need to sort out our motivation. If we sort out our motivation, if we sort out why we wish to do mediumship, that will help the process enormously. That will help us on that journey. You've got to take your development seriously. You need to give it all the time it needs. If it takes as long as it takes, you've got to give it the time it needs. It's also about showing up regularly. It's also about being consistent. Not about doing a week here or a week there. Not about doing a class this month but nothing for another 6 months. We need to be consistent with our development. It's the same idea as the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise always gets there in the end. Remember, slow and steady wins a race. Keep showing up. Be consistent. So just remember, development takes as long as it takes. So point number 6, development is a journey, not a destination. There is no final destination. We never arrive at the destination. For me, it's just stages and stops along a journey, along a path of development. And we never stop developing. There's always more to unfold. No matter where you are in your development, I guarantee you there's more development that can take place if you commit to it. So we only ever stop developing when we reach the spirit world. We only ever stop developing when we go to the spirit world. And that's only because we're no longer in this world. Mediumship works because we're here connecting to the spirit world. When we're in the spirit world, we learn more about mediumship from a different perspective. So remember, it's a journey, not a destination, because you never arrive. There's always more to learn. So point number 7, don't rush it. Don't be in a rush to get to the next stage. Don't be in a rush to achieve a label of a working medium. What you need to do is take it one step at a time. You need to enjoy the journey. You need to take it slowly, steady. You need to walk every stage of the journey. We learn more as we go by doing it slowly and steadily. We learn more when we're unfolding it at a natural pace. If you try and rush to the next stage, you often find you've missed something and you have to go back. You often find you've got to walk that part of your path again. So don't try and rush it. Take it slow and steady. and take it at your own pace. So finally, point number 8, let it unfold naturally. When the conditions are right, our mediumship will naturally unfold. When the timing is right, our mediumship will unfold. When we create the right conditions, when we have the right timing, it will absolutely unfold. Often when we find there's a barrier to our unfoldment, it may not be the right time for it to unfold. So don't force it, don't push it, don't try and take shortcuts, don't try and find a back door. There isn't one. Give it the time it needs, allow it to unfold naturally the way it needs to unfold. If you try and force it, if you try and push it, it only creates challenges later. Those people I know who try to force their mediumship, try to jump to the next stage too quickly, they find that there's a challenge comes from that. Problems arise from that. They've only got to go back and try and fix those problems. So always let it unfold naturally. Always let it unfold in its own time. That is the key. So I hope you understand that it takes as long as it takes to unfold and develop mediumship. So I hope you got lots from this video. If you have, hit the like button. Do leave me a comment. If you enjoy my teachings, consider subscribing to the channel. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you all again in the next one.